Hi everybody, Morgan with Event Answer here, and today I want to share with you how to put together a gingerbread house decorating party. My nieces and nephews are coming over tomorrow to decorate some gingerbread houses, and I want to show you how I set up for this party and share a couple tips to make hosting it a breeze for you as well. So come along as I set this up and I'll show you how I do it. The first thing I'm going to do is pop up my 6-foot folding table for the kids and then cover the surfaces for easy cleanup. So I'm using this cute red craft paper, which I think is going to be a great holiday touch and make cleanup really easy. So I'm just going to tape the ends down so it doesn't move around on the table as the kids are working. But you could also do a plastic tablecloth as well, or if you want you can just wipe down the table, but I'm all about easy cleanup. So at the end of the party I can just roll up this paper and throw it away. Let's talk gingerbread houses for a moment here. So you could absolutely make your own gingerbread house by making the dough and baking it in the oven. I'm not that hands-on, so growing up we always did graham cracker gingerbread houses, which is super easy to assemble. It's pre-made and easy to put together. But last year I discovered that you can buy pre-made gingerbread house kits, and I found this one that has 8 different gingerbread houses in it, and I think will be perfect for tomorrow's party. So I love this because it comes with a lot of the basics, so not only the houses, but it comes with some of the royal icing, and it comes with some special sprinkles and candies to decorate. So I'm going to start off with this kit and add a couple extra things to this. So I've gotten some extra candies and things that I'll be adding to the party as well, but this is a great way to get started without having to make your own gingerbread. Now I mentioned earlier that this party is a gingerbread house decorating party. I'm not actually going to have the kids assemble the houses because that does take a little bit of time, and I wanted them to focus more just on having fun with the decorating part. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-assemble the gingerbread houses here. I'm going to take all of the pieces and cut them apart and assemble them ahead of time, so all they have to do is decorate. Now if you have an adult party, you could absolutely just give them these kits and they can cut them apart and assemble them themselves. But for speed and ease for the kids, I'm just going to go ahead and set these up ahead of time. To assemble the gingerbread houses, I'm going to go ahead and start gluing them together. Now most people would usually use royal icing to accomplish this. You would put it on, hold the pieces together until that frosting dries, and then it's pretty sound. But that can take quite a while to accomplish, and I want to get this done in the most efficient way possible. In my family, we don't actually eat our gingerbread houses. We have fun making them, we enjoy looking at them for the season, and then we throw them away because who wants to eat a dusty cookie at the end of the season? So what I'm going to do is use my hot glue gun and assemble all of the houses using hot glue on the inside, and then allow the kids to decorate the outside of the houses however they want. You only do this if you don't plan to eat your gingerbread houses. If you do want the kids to eat your gingerbreads, go ahead and go the royal icing route, but for me, I'm breaking out the hot glue gun. The gingerbread kit that I bought actually came with some royal icing packets in white and then green and red as accents for that. So I'll be using that primarily for the party, but I do intend to go ahead and make some extra royal icing. It's a really simple thing to do. I'll link below Alton Brown's recipe, which is the one that I really enjoy using, if you'd like to make it yourself. So let's talk about how to get the icing onto the gingerbread houses. The kit that I purchased came with some piping bags and some tips that you can use. This is a very traditional way of doing it. So you would fill this bag with the royal icing, and then you would twist the back side of this and hold it in your hand kind of like this. But you've got to keep constant pressure on the back, pushing it towards the tip, and if you're not careful it can actually kind of blurp out the back side and you end up with frosting everywhere and it's a mess. You can fix this by putting a rubber band on the end. It's an easy way to do it if you plan to use piping bags. I also like the option of filling little sandwich baggies that zip top. You can go ahead and put the icing in it and then just cut the corner off to use as a piping bag, but this keeps it inside and you don't have to worry about it lopping out the back, but you can still kind of get that piping bag feel. For the kids that I have at my party, I've got a 5-year-old up to a 10-year-old at the party, so I intend to use these squeezy bottles. I think this is brilliant because there's a screw-on lid so they can put the lid on it when they're not using it so the royal icing isn't drying out in the tips. It gives them a lot of control. I'm not worrying about there being a mess because the lids screw on and they're easy to handle. So I plan on filling these squeezy bottles for my party, and I love this idea. I think this is going to be great and it's going to give them a lot of control over the frosting. I've gathered up all of my candies and sprinkles and ice cream cones and marshmallows all in front of me. I'm going to go ahead and preset at every place setting for each child one of these paint palettes. And this is going to be great for all the little bits that are going to go on top of the gingerbread houses. So take for instance some of these sprinkles and these little like snowman kits and things. These don't have any of those grates that stop them from going everywhere. And I can just see these rolling all over the tables in big cups. So what I'm going to do is pre-portion out for each child a couple of each of these so that everyone starts with the same amount of stuff of all these little things. And then in the middle of the table, I'm going to go ahead and set up a space that has all of the big things like the marshmallows and peppermints and the powdered sugar for snow. So all of the bigger stuff will be within easy reach of the children, but all these small things they'll have right at their fingertips inside this paint palette ready for them. And here's the final table put together. So I've laid out each place setting for the kids, and then in the center of the table I've gone ahead and added all of those large candies, the marshmallows, the ice cream cones. I've also filled this shaker with powdered sugar so that they can put it over the top of their decorations and make it look like it snowed. I've also gone ahead and given each child a knife, and I've set out the squeezy bottle for their frosting. I'll wait until we get really close to the party to go ahead and fill these, so they'll just sit empty until party time. I've also gone ahead and given them each a gingerbread house to start with, but I've not glued it to the plate. That way they can decide where on the plate they want to put it and what the landscaping for their gingerbread house is going to look like. One thing I do want to point out is that I've used these square-lipped plates. I love first that it's square, which gives a lot of room to build a yard for the gingerbread house, but I also love the fact that there's a lip on it. And this is great because it'll hold everything on the inside. So when there's an inch of frosting and powdered sugar and candies all around the yard, if they pick it up and tilt it a little, it's not going to go all over the floor. The lip will hold it in place. And I love that fact because they're going to be taking these home with them and I want them to travel pretty easily. I've got all the extra houses off to the side here, as well as all of the extra candies and marshmallows, so not everything's out on the table yet. I want to just put enough out to start, and then if I need to refill, I totally can, but it's not really something I want to put back into the bag after the kids have handled it and stuff, so I'm just starting out with a smattering of everything, and then if I need to add to it, I can. This has been so much fun to put together, and I can't wait to see my niece and nephew's faces when they start decorating their own gingerbread houses. So until the next time, I hope you give this a try. If you do, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it and what kind of things do you put on top of your gingerbread house. So until the next video, I'll see you later.